Yeah, back at the church.
0 feet altitude, 2 feet distance.
Do a little Amazon flyover again.
100% battery.
And today, this is the maiden voyage of a new drone that I got from DJI. Because I brought a broken one on eBay. And for the hell of it, I checked the status of the warranty, and the idiot that bought it had paid for. DJI refresh. So this is the first flight for this drone. Not really. I don't know anything about it other than I thought I went through and set everything the way I wanted. Hopefully I did. And it seemed like it kept a lot of defaults from whatever the last time I used the drone, the other drone. So whatever was stored on the controller seemed to have it kept. I'm getting a strong wind warning, and that thing is cruising. Holy crap. So I'm not sure what direction the wind is. It feels like it's kind of not really, it's hard to describe. It's not that bad, but it's a cold wind. So far so good. Now it's doing about 20. Yeah, it's the day after Thanksgiving. So there's a couple things I'm going to be looking at, especially with the video. I've had problems with these cameras with kind of blurry spots that show up in 4K that you can't see until you actually watch the video, and you'll see spots that are just washed out. And I try to combat that by I process the video at a really high bit rate, which is about 45. YouTube recommends I think 16. So that's just more information per second that actually gets collected. So doesn't look to be much change down there. I mean, it's they got the wall almost halfway up. I got good speed, really good battery. It wasn't a big deal that I got out and flew around today. It's just that, like I said, this is a brand new drone.
88% battery.
I don't know why it stopped there unless it's stuck in the wind. We'll see. That's probably what it was. Gust. Yeah. So the wind, that means the wind is coming from that would be the west out there. So that makes sense. It's going so slow. And makes sense why it got so over there so fast. Yeah, it's fighting the wind. Everything else looks to work really well. Good white balance. Focus looks good.
300 feet altitude. 4,448
Nice control in the camera. And go up. Yep, that's how I want it.
4% battery.
The default setting is like you can't tilt the camera angle up more than 30 degrees, which is basically at the horizon, which is kind of silly, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm cold. Yeah, it looks like they didn't get anything done. Only because, I mean, it's a holiday, so they probably let everybody go home. I'm sure most of these guys that are working aren't from around here. Yeah, I tightened up the circle too. It doesn't go as far over into the no man's land. Everything looks to be pretty good as far as control.
7 miles per hour, 80% battery.
Get 80% battery, so no problems with that. At 300 feet. Let me check. Just for the hell of it. Check on the gimbal or the trackers. Make sure that's working. Yep, tracker's working. And having trouble with that thing turning itself off too. I gotta double check and make sure that it's working before I go. So it's more like the wind is coming from that building on the horizon. That's dead ass north.
180 feet distance. 0 miles per
and over here is west, so it's a northwest wind, and this thing is just hanging. But I have a lot of battery, and I'm gonna let it ride. Let's see what this wind speed is on my phone app. 10 miles an hour. It's probably higher than that. Temperature 33. Yep, that feels about right. Flying 6 minutes.
feet altitude, 4,874 feet distance, 5 miles per hour.
It should
1% battery.
pick up speed after it gets around here. It's going faster already. 13 miles an hour. I think this mission is set to 20. So far so good with this new drone. It doesn't look like it was a brand new drone. I noticed a couple of marks on the body. So it's refurbished, factory refurbished. Had to activate it when I took off, so it's got a full year warranty.
65 feet distance, 23 miles per hour, 67% battery.
And I'll eventually probably pull some fuckery to get a new camera out of them, because I've done that before, only because this shit's so expensive. And in my mind, the camera assembly is just substandard. And I spend a fortune trying to fix these drones, you know, buying gimbals that when you get them, they don't work. And then you put on ribbons and the ribbon doesn't work, or something else wrong with it. And it causes a lot of unnecessary fucking grief. And they want like $300 for a new camera. If you're not under warranty and you send your drone in, you're going to get a bill for about $400 from them to fix your camera, which you can do it yourself.
299 feet altitude.
Usually for the most parts works, but I've had a bad luck streak
12 miles per hour, 63% battery.
where basically the same issue's been. I'm not been able to find good quality gimbals that actually work. You can buy them for about $35-40 on eBay, and you go through the whole process. You tear it apart, you install it, and bam, turn it back on, same shit, doesn't work. That's happened an awful lot. Swapping out every part that you have. I have like a lot of spare parts, so I can swap parts out from parts that I know that actually work, and then I put them in and nothing happens. And it's usually the gimbal overload error. Gimbal motor too large, it says. which is English.
299 feet distance, 8 miles per hour, 59% battery.
I'm almost just about to get in the car because it is cold. It's going to take one more trip around, and then he's going to come back. I'm at 57% battery. I don't expect any trouble getting back. If it's a 10-mile-an-hour headwind, I'll get back at doing about 30. But I'm not worried yet because the battery level is still pretty high. If I was down, I'm getting down to 50. That's when you got to think about coming back if it's a mile away.
299 feet altitude, 5,049 feet distance, 7 miles per hour, 55% battery.
Good range of motion on the camera. There's no jumping around or anything. So I took my Joni McJone face, my go-to guy, cleaned it up, took the stickers off, listed it on eBay, selling that one, and the camera's starting to act up already. I put a new camera in over the summertime, and twice so far it's reset itself in flight where it just jerks around, which what that is actually the gimbal resetting, and it's a sign that it's failing and it's eventually going to fail. You get about maybe 3 or 4 months out of it if you're lucky. And it's never been crashed. It's a brand new fucking camera that I bought. Put it in.
299 feet altitude, 4,512 feet distance, 16 miles per hour, 50% battery.
Oh, my hands are freezing. Yeah, see, it's got the tailwind now. It's cranking. We'll see how it does on the flip-flop up here. I think this is the last turn. Oh shit, it's gonna go around one more time. I don't know about that. I ain't gonna let it go that far, I don't think. Yeah, it's got one more lap set. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. So it's gonna go in the far corner to the spot where I get my stills.
299 feet altitude.
Unless the wind calmed down.
141 feet distance, 26 miles per hour, 46% battery.
It's probably gonna stop dead here again. It's going pretty good. 44% battery. I'm not gonna stay there any longer. I'm gonna bring it back.
Mission ended.
Because it is windy.
(301 feet altitude, 4,124 feet distance, 31 miles per hour, 41% battery.
I got a warning about the compass. I'm gonna have to make sure that's calibrated. It didn't give me a warning when I took off, so. But it is new. You should always calibrate before you fly when it's brand new like that. So, not a big deal, but it isn't really going straight. $30 miles an hour.
300 feet altitude. 1,633 feet distance. 28 miles per hour. 31% battery.
It's almost flying itself sideways. Oh yeah, the low battery warning. I have to manually set that because I keep it at 15%. So I gotta remember to turn that down. I thought I got everything except that. Well, I did get everything except that. So I'm gonna bring it over here near the tower and do auto land.
Warning, aircraft battery at 25%. 300 feet altitude. 756 feet distance. 33 miles per hour. 23% battery.
Oh, there's a truck out there. There usually is never anybody out there.
Warning, aircraft battery at 21%.
There he is. Right on time.
Warning, aircraft battery at 20%. 66 feet altitude. 7 feet distance. 4 miles per hour. 19% battery.
So I guess I just got to calibrate the compass. And I'm not going to prolong this any longer because I am fucking freezing. My fingers are ice. So,
Warning, aircraft battery at 17%.
it was decent for a windy day. It didn't seem that windy. I didn't think it was as windy as it is, but it's windy. So, got to adjust the compass. Otherwise, everything is all good in happy land. G-Dog out.